everybody, welcome back to Stitching Big Things with Hallie. This is a channel about cross stitch and I welcome you back. To all of those who are new viewers, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you'll find something of interest here. Some different projects that might spark a new passion, maybe for big projects like I have. And if you're returning, thank you so much. It's so great to have you all back. I really enjoy every week seeing the comments, getting to know you guys, and just interacting and getting to know the community. It's been a real blessing in my life, so thanks for that. Okay, last week I told you a little bit of life update. I told you last week that my second son was graduating from high school, and he did. As you guys know, COVID postponed graduation, and the school decided to do it here towards the end of July. For those of you who don't know, I live in Texas, and July is not where we decided to have it outside on the football field, and July in Texas is not the most comfortable place to be outside. And then last week there was a small hurricane. I think as it actually crossed into land, it actually became a tropical storm that was set to kind of come up through the Gulf and be up here as a tropical storm on Saturday evening, which was when our graduation was scheduled. So we were all saying our prayers and hoping and wishing that we didn't get a lot of rain and we didn't get the tropical storm, and luckily it did make a left and it went up more through Louisiana than it actually came up through Texas. But you know, you always have those bands that kind of come up alongside, and we did get a band that came right over right about graduation time. The kids had to be there at 7:30, we had to be there at 8, and at 7:30 when we pulled out of our house, it was pouring rain. We live about 15 minutes from school, not very far. Pouring rain. Pouring rain. We did make sure to grab a towel so we could wipe our seats off. And so we did that. We got there. It was just sprinkling at the school. It had rained hard, but it was moving on. It was a fast moving cell. It moved on through. But we all were smart and took our umbrellas with us, and we started graduation. And as the keynote speaker went up, we were all watching, because it's still light enough here at that time of night, we were all watching the clouds circling us, and literally, like, there was just like this half circle of clouds that were just going around like where we were, and you could see it raining around us, but it wasn't raining where we were, which was crazy. And then all of a sudden you could see it start to come across the football field, and it was like all the umbrellas popped up and everybody sat there for about 2 minutes, and then it passed on and we all put our umbrellas back down, and it was beautiful after that. That little shower that came through, and just the change with the tropical storm that was coming up brought in a lovely cool breeze. It knocked our humidity out, which is normally extremely high, and the heat was down because, you know, with the clouds and the rain, and it ended up being a lovely evening. We had 2 minutes of rain shower, and right in the middle, and then the kids all got to get up and be honored and celebrated. So, and our school does a great job of celebrating our seniors. We go to a very small private school here in Tyler, and we had 40 graduates this year. This was a particularly small class. We've had a lot of people leave this particular grade, and so we had a very small group, which was lovely. You know all the kids, you know all their parents, so it was a good group of kids, and they go up and they get honored, and they do a little talk about each student. It's not just walk across the stage, it's you go up, you stand up there, you know, they read a bio, they do, you know, they put out, you know, funny things to mom and dad, and you know, then they walk off and they get their picture. and their diploma. So it's a lovely ceremony. It does take a while, but that's okay. With 40 kids, it's not that long. And it was a lovely evening. So we had a great time. I will insert a picture here or here so that you guys can get a picture of my graduate. So, all right. I need to do a shout out. I want to thank Darren at Dizzy Stitcher, who gave me a shout out last week. And I went and checked out his channel. He does big cross stitch projects like I do. And he's relatively new as well. He probably has 10 or 12 videos out. He is a gentleman. His name's Darren. He lives in Australia and he's been there for a few years. He was originally from the UK. So he's just fun to listen to for his accent, which is wonderful. And like I said, he's been stitching since about 2009. He's got lots of big projects, and they're very different and unique. He's got quite a few HAIDs going on, Heaven and Earth Designs, for those of you who that might be new to. And he also does quite a few kits and big projects that come as a kit. So he's really fun to watch. He's very relaxed. He has a number of regular floss tubes, and he's also doing some Stitch with Me's now, which is kind of fun because he shows, you know, how his little setup is and all of that. So head on over there, check him out, Dizzy Stitcher. I'll link it down below, and you can check it out and support one of our newer floss tube folks. So, okay, so what did I do this last week? Here we go, we're getting to stitching. As you guys remember, I am in the process of Christmas during July. This is my last week of July, so this will be probably my last Christmas design for a little bit. This particular design is Trimming the Tree by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Randal Spangler. I love these, like his little face and his little face, like they just look so happy. I love these little dragons. I've got a number of these little dragons set to be stitched at some point. So, but this was a good one. I got started on it this week, and I will tell you guys, I had a great stitching week. I had a lot of time. Again, athletics got shut down, so I didn't have as much running with my other kids. And so I got a lot done. I was hoping, yeah, you can see the two different colors. So here is this light bulb right here. Okay, so you kind of get, I've got the black up here, and then lots of just tree background, and of course this cord and light that comes across, cord, light. So that's super fun to see that kind of pop up. I have almost this whole branch done up here, and then there's a second branch that comes out here. And you can see there's a lot less black. I started out with 310, got in the black, and now I'm working in this dark green. And I'm sure there'll be a number of greens in there to make up that background. But this ended up being, how many stitches? 5,936 stitches. Y'all, I had a great stitching week. Sunday after graduation, I didn't even get out of my pajamas. I said, my husband asked me what I wanted to do. I said, I'm going to stay in my pajamas and I'm going to stitch all day. So this is on 20 count easy grid. It's 1/1. And it's going to be pretty good size, but, and 20 count, I was a little concerned. You know, I hear people talk about 20 count and coverage issues. Two's too much, two threads is too much. One sometimes is not enough. If you get real close, I mean, you can see some of the fabric underneath, but you know, I'm never going to get that close. I'm going to stand back here and I'm going to look at it and it's going to be fine. So I've been real happy with the coverage. And I'm excited to have that now to put into my rotation. So that was all I worked on. That was the only project that I had set up because I knew that one had some big color chunks and I could really get a good start on it. And I love when you have a lot of the same color. I don't have to do a lot of thread changes. I can just get in a rhythm and go. And with Pattern Keeper, that makes that significantly easier. So I don't have any haul this week. I'm not going to show any finishes. I thought I would just talk a little bit about my plans for next week or for the next month, because here we are at the end of July. And I have heard Stitchin Mommy talk a lot about Arbitrary August. And she's the one who kind of set that up. And I thought it would be fun to participate in that. I've never done it before. So I kind of had to figure out, how am I going to do this? So I decided I need to spend some time on all of my full coverage, or as many of my full coverage projects as I can. So just so you guys know, I participate in Full Coverage Fanatics in their National Parks Challenge. And so I have all of my full coverage have an assigned park. And as I complete one, then I, take that where I'm at that point, and I move it to another park. And so all of them are in the parks rotations right now. You have to complete 4,000 stitches to get a park. So I did complete trimming the tree this week. I was able to get another park completed, which was great. And then I set it up for another park, and almost have half of that done. So I thought, I really want to continue on those. I've got a number of full coverage, and I really would like to get through those parks this year. That's one of my goals. The other goal that I have is WhipGo. Jessie Marie does stuff on her channel. She is the founder of WhipGo, and you basically, just so you guys know, I'll show mine real quick. It's terribly messy. I just hand wrote it out, so nothing exciting. You do a bingo chart, and you get to assign whatever goal you want in each category. So, some of them I've got on here. For some of my full coverage, I've got 5,000 stitches. Some I've got 2,000 stitches. I've got, finishes like the Royal Games a couple weeks ago. I wanted to finish one of the ladies. I also have the second lady to be finished on here. Temperature tree I put on here to make sure I get temperature tree done. So she goes every month and she calls 2 squares, and you can work on those squares. So this month, and I have been caught up. I've been able to stay caught up so far all year. In August, she called 9, 10, and 13. 13 is my free space. 9 and 10. 9 is Royal Games 2. The second lady finish. One lady finish, which I already finished one of the ladies. So I need to finish the second lady. So I will show you that just as a reminder. You guys saw a few weeks ago I finished the red lady. So the second lady's been called. So now I get to go back and work on lady 2. I'm going to work on the blue lady. So that is an important goal, and I want to work on her this month. So she's going to be one of the things I do. Temperature tree is another thing that I want to make sure I stay caught up with. So it's in the month I probably only need to stitch it 2 days. I just need to keep it caught up, but I will work on that this month as well. So for the rest of my full coverage, and for number 10, which happens to be the red, I put on here Autumn Fairy because that's what I call her. She's actually Red Maple Fairy. You guys have seen her. I need 2,000 stitches. That'll be super easy to get if she gets called. So, which she did get called. And so what I decided to do was do a little bit of Arbitrary August. So I set up a wheel, a Tiny Decisions app on my phone, and I decided to put all of my full coverage pieces on there. I'm going to let the wheel decide. You guys have never let anybody decide but me. So this is a little out of my comfort zone. We're going to give it a try. If I don't like it, plans can change. But we are going to work on the 2 WhipGo items, or the 1 WhipGo item, the temperature tree, and I'm going to do a wheel to do 1 full coverage a week. So between those 3 projects, I will complete a week. So let's figure out, I've got my wheel here. Let's figure out and I've entered all of my full coverage. They're on there twice. I think I only have 6, so not so bad. I'm gonna let you figure out, or let it decide what I'm gonna work on this week. So this is kind of scary, y'all. Cookie Fairy. Awesome. Let me show you Cookie Fairy. And that's a good one. I have not worked on Cookie Fairy in a while. So here she is. Love another little dragon. Sweet, sweet, sweet smile. Let me quick grab her so you guys can see where she was at. I know, just so you all can see. She's in my Garon toten bag with skulls because I love the little skulls and I love Halloween. So just so you guys know kind of where my starting point is, that's where I am. Obviously you can tell I've got the fairy in and I'm busy working on, you can start to see her swishes of over here, over the door. And I've, gonna put more of the door in. So those will be what I'm working on this week. So I'm super excited to work on that. That'll be a fun project. So the Whipco project, just so you guys know, I think I told you Red Autumn Fairy. This is the one that got called for Whipco. So hopefully she'll get called this month. And I will be able to get my 2,000 stitches in. If not, we may adjust towards the end of the month just because I want to make sure I get that one done. So I think that lets you know what I'm going to work on for next week. Should be a fairly good stitching week. Just so you guys know, my husband is off next week. We are not going anywhere. Thank you, COVID. We're doing a staycation. It could be up in the air how much stitching I get done. It also could be up in the air whether I get a video done next week. So we will just wait and see. If they're staying late, playing games, it's very likely that I could get up in the morning, knock one of these videos out, and just show you where I'm at next Friday. That would be my goal, but if it doesn't happen, don't panic. Everything will be fine. So thank you again for joining me. I appreciate all of you following and commenting. If you have a question or a comment, please don't hesitate to comment below. You can also email me at stitchingbigthingswithhallie at gmail.com. That'll be down below as well. Or you can find me on Instagram. I'm trying to do better and better. My kids are really good with Instagram. I'm learning to remind myself to take pictures and put those up there. But you can also follow along there. You can direct message me there. I'm at Stitching Big Things with Hallie. And that'll be down below as well. Thanks again. If you see something that you like, if you want to join, make sure and check back and see where I got next week. Make sure to subscribe and click that bell to get any notifications. And don't forget, keep stitching those big things. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.